Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Habs tonight pregame show. Your Montreal Canadiens are visiting the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, in honor of Tom Dundon, JD, you have a song that you would like to sing, if you will, to the fans out there. Go ahead.
Dun 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 dun.
Welcome to the pregame show, folks. All right. That's go. Am I right?
Well, it feels like he should be the owner of the Sharks with that.
Oh, we had to have some fun. That was a bit of an homage to a Nick and I's pregame tradition that we had going last year with all the dad jokes. So anyway, welcome everybody. We haven't been drinking, brother. Welcome everybody to the Habs Night pregame show. Just want to welcome you in as the Montreal Canadiens are visiting the Carolina Hurricanes. Last game of 2021. Is this year over yet, JD? It almost is. And deservedly so. It's been a good year, though. It's been a good year. Habs Tonight has started in early 2021, and we have a lot to look forward to in 2022. And we're going to keep you guys posted about that. I know a lot of you guys are always asking, where's Dale Weiss? And he's always going to try to make it on the show when he can. Super busy life, as we know. But we're going to have more shows with Dale in 2022. We're going to map things out as far as what those will look like. So just want to welcome you guys, of course, to smash the like button if you guys are new to the show. Like, dislike, any kind of engagement, whatever you guys want to do. Carolina fans, are you out there? Come on, talk to us here. Let us know what you're thinking. Hit subscribe if it's your first time, also, if you haven't before. And now let's get right into this, JD. So I want to go right into lineups tonight. And I'm going to do something that we don't normally do as often. And I want to show the lineup for the Montreal's a visiting team tonight. So I want to show Carolina's lineup and break that down with you a little bit. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, ladies and gentlemen, once again, an opportunity for him to strut his stuff against his former team. So let's take a look at it, JD. What are your first impressions of the lineup? Only 2 players on the COVID list for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight, and one of those is Frederik Andersen, so that might be good news for the Habs.
Yes, and it looks like Kotkaniemi is moving back to the wing. He's been on
Yes.
fire. Actually, he's had something like 5 points in his last 4 games or something like that, or last 3 games actually. His ice time has bumped from 12 minutes a game to 16 and a half minutes a game in those games. He's been playing very well for the Hurricanes in the last stretch here. For the season, I mean, he's still pretty much on par with what he's done with Montreal that way. He's got 13 points in 29 games, so nothing to write a book about. At 6.1 million, that's $470,000 a point for those who count. So, but I'm glad for KK. I mean, I think he's a good kid. I think he's definitely a good hockey player. There's a little something inside of me that want him to do better than Tkachuk, just to justify picking him at that spot.
Right. And, I wasn't a big fan of, I didn't really want to mention it, but I wasn't a fan of the way he got treated at the Bell Center in his return. And of course, he scored a goal that I don't know if it was the game winning goal for Carolina. I think it actually might have been, but some fans, senseless fans were chanting a very, vulgar chant towards him. And I just thought that was really stupid. So I hate that kind of stuff. But moving on from that, I mean, we're in Carolina tonight, and the Canadiens' COVID list is quite a bit longer on top of the injuries they already had. So, as you can see at the bottom of the ticker here, and some other guys were added to that list. And actually, it didn't update for me, but Gianni Fairbrother and the guy's name, who I can't pronounce right now, one of the guys,
Louis Belpedio.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, JD. If you guys haven't heard of him before the show, we hadn't either. We're not going to lie to you. Okay, so that being said, I mean, this is such a funny season, and I shouldn't say funny, but it's just like you take what you can get from it. I mean, the amazing thing the other night with the Tampa game was how similar it was to the game at the Bell Center, right? So that's why I'm thinking about this Carolina game. I'm like, is it going to be similar to what we saw at the Bell Center also? I hope not, because it didn't end well for the Habs. But again, you're seeing a lot more ice time. So in a moment here, what I would like to do is, of course, also bring up the Canadiens lineup. It's probably going to be very similar, JD, I imagine, to the one we saw the other night.
Yes, and what you can expect from that with all the veterans that are out of the lineup is you have a bunch of guys fighting for spots here, fighting for jobs for next year. So those kids, you look at RV Pinar, who scored his first goal. You look at a guy like Clegg that scored his first NHL goal as well. I mean,
Yep.
these guys want to earn a spot, want to make a good impression on the Canadiens, so that they start with a foot ahead, or at least they're trying to impress Jeff Gordon in order not to be traded or to be part of the future for the Canadiens. So it's not going to be a lack of effort from the Canadiens tonight. It could be a lack of skills, could be a lack of depth, but it's certainly not going to be a lack of effort as we've seen the last game.
What did you make of, all the like? I mean, we always try to find the positives in this very, very down season, but was there any particular line that impressed you the most out of what you saw in terms of the younger guys? I mean, there's a few things we could talk about from last game.
Oh, absolutely. Pilzetta was all over the place. I thought he played a pretty good game. And then you have David Bobby Orr Savard that was, scored a goal like you don't expect him to score against his former team, nonetheless. Yeah, Romanov is playing like a top pairing defenseman right now, or at least the top four for sure. Kulak is Kulak. He is who he is. But I like some of the stuff I've seen from the young guys. I think that Clegg has been playing much better lately. So has Savard, by the way. He struggled the first 18 games or so, but then after that, he's really picked it up.
Yep.
Sammy Nico is showing flashes of good things as well. And Schuneman didn't look that bad either. I mean, he had limited ice time, but he didn't look that bad either. So it's unfortunate. I mean, the goalies in Montreal are getting peppered, but they were getting peppered with a full lineup too. So something's got to happen at some point. It's been the perfect storm, as Jeff Gordon put it against the Canadiens. So it will change.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, what I'm curious about too is, I mean, there's a lot of evaluations happening right now, right? Um, but this I want to touch on with you just very briefly, because this could be a whole separate clip altogether. But we saw what Connor Bedard did the other night against Austria, the 4 goals and all that kind of stuff. And the tournament gets shut down and everything. But do you think it's inevitable at this point that the Canadiens are gonna like have to take a shot at Connor Bedard and start the rebuild in 2022, 2023?
I don't believe that it will be possible, to be honest with you. I don't know what Jeff Gordon can do to hold that team back. As mentioned, this year, everything has gone wrong. So if you
Yeah.
look at the list of injuries, you look at what's been happening around the team, and you're talking about long-term injuries to key players here. I was chatting on Twitter with some fans here, and some were saying, the first 20 games we didn't have injuries. Well, that's not true. The first 4 or 5 games we had 30 million out of the lineup. And we're talking about key players. Hoffman wasn't there, right? And then after that, yes, they did struggle, but they never had a healthy lineup. The last time they had a healthy lineup was in the playoffs, and look what they did. So, we haven't had Carey Price not one single game. We haven't had Joel Edmondson one single game this year. Obviously, Weber is injured. Some people call him retired. He's not retired. He's on the injured list. So, I don't think you can hold that team back for 2 years in a row, because they are better healthy than what they've shown this year. So unless he gets rid of all the veterans, then at that point, then maybe, but I doubt that he will want to do that.
So you think we see another year of a lot of the guys that are injured and on the court, like, like the guys you're just mentioning, like you got to give. I don't see. It's hard to see unless some really great offers come for a lot of these roster players, including Carey Price. It's hard not to see Carey Price take another year with this team to honor his legacy as a Montreal Canadian. And again, that's why this is like a separate clip altogether. I know this is not in relation to tonight's game, but I just had to put it out there. So I think we'll probably just have to put that on the shelf for now, because I'm sure there's a lot more to talk about in that regard. So
some will go, Drew. Some will go, but I'm with you on that. I don't think that you'll see a wholesale happening here. I think that you'll see some veterans go, but I think that the team that you're seeing, a lot of the same faces will come back next year.
yeah, and that's a possibility. It's going to be up to Jeff Gorton and the new GM whenever that comes in, which will be another clip we will talk
Yes.
about, because we are going to get to JD's short list of your GM candidates that you feel are most likely to get an opportunity to be general manager of the Canadiens. So we'll do that. We'll do that very soon too.
Yeah. Renaud Lavoie came with a list of 8, and he was missing some names on there, like Martin Madden Jr. wasn't on that list, but and he had some surprise names on there. Mark Denis from RDS was on there. I don't know how Renaud can know the exact list of people who will be interviewed. I doubt that Jeff is sharing that. The two Jeffs are sharing that. But I think that it's a good guideline as to some of the candidates that could be interviewed. And I'm very pleased to see that Kent Hughes is on that list as well, because he is my number one candidate. And he has Matthew Darche on there also, who's a very strong candidate. Daniel Brière is on there, a strong candidate as well. Patrick Roy, who is the popular choice, I would say. I'm not sure how serious of a candidate he will be, but he will be on there. Apparently, he will be interviewed according to Lavoie.
And we'll end with that.
and two ladies.
That's right.
Yes,
that's right. So, I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff there, and it's bonus content just for the pregame show here. But just want to remind you folks one more time, Habs, well, not one more time. I mean, we always do a little bit of salesmanship here. Got my new hoodie in. JD, is your stuff's on the way. We know it's going to get there.
it's in the mail.
It's in the mail. It's in the mail. 100%.
With the check.
Yeah, seriously. Habstonight.net, guys. I think the promo code might still be up. I'm not 100% sure, but it's Dale to get 20% off. All of us just got our Christmas merch. It's great. It's so comfortable. And that's the truth. So anyway, that being said, Montreal, Carolina, let's get a little bit of predictions going. This is, again, another tradition that Anik and I got into. So better or worse, what are you predicting for this game tonight, JD?
It's so hard to tell, isn't it? I mean, I wasn't expecting Montreal to play nose to nose with Tampa Bay the last game. I don't think any of us were, right? We expected a smoke show.
Yep.
Carolina is another very, very strong team, and they're, for the most part, healthy. Their big guns are back, and they haven't played since December 18th, so they're well rested. I'm expecting to see maybe a little bit of rust. They will see a Habs team that works their butts off, and in their face, right? So expect a lot of guys, being right in their face, pushing on a forecheck and so on, and taking the body. If they're expecting an easy game, Montreal could cause some surprises on there, but I'm expecting a team that's well prepared. Rod Brandon-Moore is a good coach. I think he'll have his team well prepared. You'll have KK will probably have a few dollars on the boards in the dressing room again. So I'm suspecting that the stronger teams should prevail. I would say, if I had to put a score, I would probably say 5-2 Carolina.
Normally we always go Habs, but you know what?
I see what you mean. Okay, well, let's
no, but
go.
But I asked
if the Habs are to win, it will be 3-2.
If the Habs are to win, it will be 3-2. Okay, there we go. I like it. And Cole Caulfield will at least get a goal. That's going to be my prediction. I'm going to leave it at that. So very good. And you know what? You mentioned Rod Brind'Amour a minute ago. I think, like, I don't know the guy personally or anything, but just the read you get off people, just their impression. He's got to be a great coach for Jesperi Kotkaniemi. I think KK loves playing for him. That's just my gut feel on that situation there. So anyways, but folks, thank you for watching. Really enjoyed doing this pregame show, and hope you enjoyed if you didn't see the beginning, go back and watch it again, because Tom Dundon, eat your hearts out. We just did a tribute to you. You're welcome. Okay. Thanks for watching, folks. Go Habs, go. We'll see you guys very soon.
See ya.